7 Central, the Weather Channel. Prime for excitement.
Coming up, the very latest on the deadly New Zealand earthquake. Rescuers continue to search for missing bodies beneath the rubble created by yesterday's 6.3 quake. We've got the latest updates just ahead.
And snow in the west. Rare air for some big cities. For those in the east, keep your eyes on some storms. They are coming your way. We will detail when in your 7-day forecast.
Plus a severe weather threat, heavy rain, hail, even tornadoes in play very late tonight through Friday. See a large area of potential flooding as well. We'll track it all right now on Day Planner. Hello and welcome to Day Planner. It is Wednesday, February 23rd. We're glad you've tuned in to join us. I'm Carl Parker.
And I'm Heather Tesh. And a relatively quiet day for much of the country, with one exception, and that would be the Northwest.
Yeah, another strong winter storm has pushed into the Northwest. Several inches have already piled up in North Bend, Washington. In Seattle, you could get anywhere from 5 to 8 inches out of the system, depending on where you are in elevation. A lot more than that, of course, as you get up into the way up into the Cascades. And some parts of the state picking up as much as a couple of feet of the snow. We'll have more on that in just a moment.
But first, our top story remains the powerful and deadly earthquake that left the city of Christchurch, New Zealand, in rubble. Now the death toll continues to rise, and aftershocks are still rattling the city.
And the country's prime minister is calling this tragedy New Zealand's darkest day. Stephanie Abrams has more.
Live earthquake.
More than 24 hours after the quake, rescuers continue the urgent search for survivors still trapped in crumbled buildings. The 6.3 magnitude earthquake devastated historic Christchurch and left the city of more than 350,000 in ruins. Entire neighborhoods flooded, fires blazing from ruptured gas lines, communications cut, water and medical equipment in short supply. In just seconds, New Zealand's second largest city plunged into chaos.
This building comes down, you got no chance.
And the Christchurch Cathedral, one of the city's most iconic landmarks, heavily damaged when its spire crashed to the ground.
And we've got some folk up there that we want to try and get out, but of course emergency are all over the place dealing with gas leaks and God knows what else. It's just huge. It is huge.
At least 75 are confirmed dead, with hundreds missing.
There's a guy on the second floor that was like covered to his waist and concrete and stuff, and oh God, I've just never seen anything like it in my life.
Earlier this morning, cheers broke out when an emergency team pulled a woman alive from one of the worst hit buildings.
She was complaining, I think, of being a bit sore because she had been laying on one side for a long time. But in the midst of what is, by and large, one of the bleakest days in the story of our city, the sun came out at the same moment as they removed Anne from that building.
Worldwide assistance continues to pour in, including the 74-member LA County Urban Search and Rescue Team, a team that has seen its share of tragedy, including the Haiti quake, 9/11, and now they are en route to Christchurch, New Zealand.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. And we're going to continue to bring you the very latest updates and video as this story continues to develop. In the meantime, we bring it back stateside, and Carl takes us west.
Yeah, I want to get you into Seattle right now. We've got 36 degrees and cloudy skies, as you can see. A beautiful view there of downtown and the Puget Sound. We've got snow on the way, and we're thinking probably about 4 to 6 there in Seattle over the next couple of days, and maybe quite a bit more than that as you head up into the mountains. So the disturbance we are now watching is right in there. You see the upper level feature right there. Now there is a tropical feed of moisture that's coming up. Sort of has to take a hard right, so it's not really a pure connection right now, but we think that's probably going to intensify in the next couple of days, and we'll see a lot of snow coming right down the coast into California. Right now it is lighter snow showers around the I-5 corridor. Snow levels obviously way down there with a temperature of 36 degrees. A little bit of rain showing up there in parts of Oregon. So really the story is going to be what happens going forward. That snow will continue to come down through today and into tomorrow as well for parts of the west. So there's a look at the timing. Going into this afternoon, more snow snow, some rain showing up there in coastal areas of Oregon and California early on. But as the cold air drops down, that's going to change over to snow. We are going to get snow all across the lower elevations there in Washington and Oregon, right down into Northern California. A lot of those areas that typically get very wet, like Eureka, will get snow, and then that snow will drop down here into Central California as well. Now, difficult call in the Bay Area. We do think there is at least a pretty good potential for snow in the hills surrounding the city, but it may be that we get snow into the city itself, and it would be the first time since 1976. So it's been quite a while. There's a look at our forecast totals. Again, 4 to 6 in Seattle, 5 to 8 in Portland, Medford 8 to 12, and 5 to 8 in Missoula. So a good hit of snow here through a lot of the interior west as well. Heather?
All right, Carl, well, we're going to talk now about the threat for severe weather, and that's something we'll be watching as we go into tomorrow. As we look across the south right now, we do have some areas of wet weather, but we've got a lot more to come. Because of that, areas from Memphis to Pittsburgh, we do have flood watches that are in effect across this area, and we, again, are concerned about the threat for severe weather as we go into our Thursday. The first area here, the lighter red, this is what we'll be watching during the day. Then we will shift it as we go through Thursday evening into the overnight. But watch for isolated tornadoes. Also, we're going to be watching for damaging winds, and hail is a possibility as well as we follow some of these storms. Now, here's how things are going to be moving along. We'll be watching this developing storm system. It's going to pull up some of that moisture here out of the Gulf, and that's going to continue to spread rain. Now, rain is going to be a very big aspect of this system. In fact, some of these areas in Kentucky and also Tennessee could potentially get 3 to 5 inches of rain. A lot of other areas we're going to be looking at about 1 to 3 inches of rain. So really coming down as we go through today and then into tomorrow across the south. Carl?
Well, we're just getting started here on Day Planner. Coming up, details on how freezing rain created a slick commute for drivers in St. Louis and caused a multi-car crash. More on that story. And get ready to feel the chill in the west. Learn where you could see record cold temperatures over the next few days. That cold spreading through much of the west, and we'll tell you all about it coming up.
Are you being audited? Do you have several years of unfiled tax returns? Is the IRS sending you threatening letters or coming to your home or place of business? Hello, I'm Patrick Cox, founder of TaxMasters. At TaxMasters, we help solve your tax problems. Listen, don't take on the IRS by yourself. Our former IRS agents and tax professionals have helped many good people just like you. Don't wait any longer. Call right now to get started today.
TaxMasters, we solve your tax problems. Call 1-866-694-4022.
I can't get rid of these weeds or these nasal allergies.
I know what works differently than many other allergy medications. Omneris. Omneris to the nose. Did you know nasal symptoms like congestion can be caused by allergic inflammation? Omneris relieves your symptoms by fighting inflammation. Side effects may include headache, nosebleed, and sore throat.
I nip my allergy symptoms in the bud.
Omneris. Ask your doctor. Battling nasal allergy symptoms? Omneris combats the cause. Get Omneris for only $11 at omneris.com.
All right, everyone, we're live in 60.
The dreaded first sneeze, that crucial moment of your common cold when the voice in your head kicks in and says,
"You can't do anything about a cold."
We've got news for you. Yes, you can. At the first sign, grab some Zicam and cut that cold short. So the choice is yours. Shorten your cold or suffer through it. Get rid of your cold faster with Zicam.
Excuse me. Your change. It's nice to know you can trust people. State Farm is counting on it. They want you to talk to your neighbors, then call a State Farm agent, find out how you can get discounts up to 40%. See, State Farm insures 40 million drivers. That's more than Geico and Progressive combined. 40 million drivers, more savings, and discounts up to 40%. So call an agent at 1-800-STATE-FARM or go online.
Weeknights 8, 7 Central, the Weather Channel, primed for excitement. And now, your local on the 8s.
It has been a very messy morning commute for drivers here in St. Louis. You can see this pile up here, not fun. This is along I-64 near downtown. Police say 20 vehicles were involved, including a FedEx delivery truck. Oh boy, there go the packages. A spokeswoman for the Missouri Department of Transportation told us a short time ago that drivers were caught off guard by the slick roads.
We just had a situation this morning that some freezing rain that wasn't necessarily forecasted, so our drivers didn't really expect it, and it just created a black ice condition. Our main lines were fine, so people are driving at excessive speeds and just hit those ramps and overpasses and bridges, and those were where we were seeing some massive ice.
And officials designated the accident a mass casualty crash. Now that means there is a possibility that several people are injured. You know, not fun when you're one of the cars in the back, because sometimes you just can't help it. You have nowhere to go but into some of the vehicles in front of you. Well, as we take a look, we still have areas of wet weather working their way across Missouri. Notice some of the pink, though, scattered about. We are going to find that we have some areas with some icy precip coming down. And again, that could mean those roadways are pretty dangerous. We have some areas, too, in the Midwest where we're picking up some snowfall here as we work from areas like North Dakota to Minnesota. High pressure, though, in the Northeast. As we look to the Midwest, we will be seeing here ultimately some much colder air coming in, but I tell you, not bad today. 36 in and around Minneapolis and St. Paul. Chicago, your temperature will be about 38 degrees. And again, we're going to have some areas here across the north where we're going to see a little bit of snowfall, and we will be watching some wet weather then continuing as we go into tonight, potentially across some areas of Indiana and Illinois. I'll point that out in a minute. High pressure, though, in the Northeast for today, and that will give us some very nice weather. With that, check out all of this sunshine. You got to love this. And Pittsburgh, 42, sunshine right now. But keep in mind, Pittsburgh, you do have a flood watch in effect because ultimately some wet weather's coming in. Washington, D.C., sun and 43. Got to love that 43 and sun in New York. Boston, 38 and some sun, and Pittsburgh, 28. But again, we're going to talk more about the potential for some not so great weather, or at least some sloppy weather to move into some of these areas. Carl?
All right, here we go in Salt Lake City, and wow, just a beautiful, beautiful shot there. A lovely look at the Wasatch, plenty of clear sky. As you can see, just a gorgeous day today, and it looks like it's going to be pretty cold in the coming days. Got some very chilly air that's now dropping down through a lot of that region. Let's take a look at what's going on with that cold air. It's going to be well below average for much of the region. There's the low pressure moving down the coast there. That cold air continuing to sweep on in, and so temperatures are going to be on the order of, get this, as low as 50 degrees